Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are, and welcome to another Nerd Nation podcast. Today we're talking The Boys, and I'm here with some lovely guests. Let me introduce you to them. First of all, we have the partner in crime, the guy who's always with me, Cousin Cheeto. Say hello.
Sup?
Okay, and we also have Boogeyman2132, who I'll be referring to as Chris. Hello.
Hello.
And finally, from deepest, darkest fucking suburbia, we have Christine Black. Welcome.
Yellow.
Now, as we all know, the season finale of The Boys was yesterday. We've all seen it. We've seen all the episodes. We're going to talk about episode 8, season 2, in a little bit, or mostly, as well as the entire season in general and our thoughts of it. A lot of characters we want to talk about as well, how we feel about the show, where the show's going to be going. So let's start off first of all with the person we haven't seen in a long time, not since I lost my shit with her, Christine Black. How you doing, Chris?
I'm fine.
Yeah, you seen both seasons of The Boys, season 1 and 2. You saw the finale the other day.
Yep.
Yeah. So how did you feel about the finale? How it ended this particular show?
I think the whole season was fucking amazing. I liked it. I liked the twist at the end. Generally speaking, I loved it. I loved it. I enjoyed it immensely. I can't wait for the next season. It's really
Yep.
good.
This particular episode, I want to focus on this episode before we start going on about the season. Anything in this episode you liked? Any developments and so on?
Well, the highlight for me for this episode was obviously when Maeve finally came around and they started beating Stormfront's ass. And I'm going to quote a friend of mine who said that the whole entire 1 hour of the episode should have been those three beating up on Stormfront, and he would have watched it.
Yeah, it reminded me of that movie, Death Proof. Have you seen that? The Tarantino film with Kurt Russell. He plays a murderer. He kills these young girls in his car, and then they beat the shit. He comes across,
yes.
and they beat the shit out of him at the end of the movie. There's a bunch of other girls.
That's literally the only part of the movie I liked.
Yeah. It really reminded me of the whole like taking turns, whack, whack, whack. I thought she might have gone
it
there.
was glorious.
You know,
it was
and
glorious.
Boogeyman, Chris, what do you think of this episode?
Honestly, it's probably one of my favorites. For many of the aforementioned points already, but it's hard to explain because it's just like I sat there with my jaw dropped almost the whole entire movie, and it's just like that couldn't have been more perfect.
Oh, yeah, it did wrap a few things up this episode, as well as open some new things as well, which was kind of interesting. Some avenues done with, some avenues created. Anything in particular in this episode that kind of made you happy?
I mean, the two main things are like the Queen Maeve, and then also the sorry, I'm trying to think here. I just got over being sick. The part where the son kills the mother. I mean, it's just like this whole season has been about wrapping up to that point, and it's just like she's gone, just like that. She's gone, and it's just like, damn.
Yeah. It was about saving her, and then she's gone. Yeah, proper. It was a proper switch there, but it was kind of expected because I guess in my opinion, if she survived and her and Butcher go home together, then there's nothing for Butcher left to do, is there? So it's good that they killed her off. I'm happy that they killed her off personally, and the way they done it was very clever as well. Cousin Cheeto, what do you think? The last episode, give me some thoughts on it, man.
It was probably one of my favorites. It was very, very well written. I mean, I've kind of been very vocal about how Homelander's kind of meh this season for me, but I mean, this episode definitely made it a little, even like as a parent, like some of the things that you know, that like the Homelander like kind of becoming a father. All right, I'm gonna have to mute you guys because our dog is about to go nuts. So keep moving. I'll come back to me in a minute.
Okay, I'll give you my thoughts. I'm actually personally this for me. I did enjoy this episode, but it was my least favorite episode of the season. I felt certain things were kind of rushed and some things were kind of convenient. The plot kind of moved along very quickly. Like certain developments happened in this episode and then was dealt with this episode. Like Stormfront being outed as a Nazi. That was this episode, the final episode. You know, she could have been outed maybe an episode or two ago, and it could have led to something else. You know, but it was this episode she was outed, and they had to deal with it with this particular episode. Then the boys are let go, and they're free to go after all the shit they fucking done. You know, Homelander been fucking taking pictures with a fucking Nazi, making out with her, saying she's a girlfriend. He's okay just to continue doing what he's doing. I understand the PR machine can work very well in that case, but certain things I just think some of the wrap ups felt very quickly done in this episode, and it didn't feel organic enough. But when it came to some of the outcomes for like what happened to Stormfront, I loved it and I hated it. Like I really wanted to not to die at the end of the episode, but she might not be dead. So see what happens. Maybe she'll come back like Anakin Skywalker, all robot arms and stuff. You know what I mean?
You stole my idea. I was like, you know,
Really?
Anakin's come back from worse.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, I think we're probably gonna have Stormfront and Black Noir as zombie versions of themselves in the next season.
Yeah,
I think Black Noir is gonna be fine.
I'm not sure.
They said he's in a coma. He'll wake up. He'll be fine.
They said unresponsive, and then he said vegetable. So yeah, but they're doing Black Noir differently from the thing, though. So I don't know, because I had some spoilers from the comics about how Black Noir was in the comic. So
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know
quite known,
which
Chris.
direction they'll go.
Yeah, we've already talked about Black Noir in the comic books on here. So
okay.
Yeah,
we can go
yeah.
ahead and spoil. I mean, unless
I don't
Boogeyman doesn't know, but I mean, I don't think they're going that route at all at this point.
Yeah,
Well, they
likewise.
can't. I mean,
So
I think A-Train's a clone of Homelander.
A-Train.
they don't look alike.
I'm kidding.
Okay, so we got we all given our initial opinions on this particular episode, but the season itself was quite good. I mean, there is nothing in television when it comes to like highly R-rated superhero stuff. There's nothing out there of this quality, and if anything at all, even if not of this quality, and that's why the show is so popular. It's shedding a light and it's making everyone very much shades of grey. Characters like Queen Maeve, who's come across a lot better. I actually thought she was going to be killed this season. I thought her heroics and her conscience was going to lead her to her death, but I'm kind of surprised she survived. Black Noir got way more development this season as well. I mean, he was hardly seen other than really his fight with Kimiko, is that his name? Kimiko, sorry. In season one. Kimiko in season one. That's really all we saw of him. And we got way more of him this season, which was great. I'm glad they're not doing the twist as well, you know, which is in the comics. But they're not going to follow a lot of things in the comics. And initially, you've got to use the comics as a base. And then I think maybe sometimes you can just use it for like comic book Easter eggs and some ideas and stuff, but not necessarily a full-on course on how things are going, because you know things change and certain ideas from comics are just not adaptable on screen. But yeah. So what did you guys think of the season? Chris, I'll start with you.
I think the whole season was amazing. Mother's Milk, fucking MVP in the first half of the season. In my
Agreed.
opinion, by far. I love this guy. Awesome. I like the fact that we see some backstory for Frenchie and some, of their past, how they got together and all that shit. I like the parallels that were drawn between Butcher and Homelander, because it gives you perspective, like why these two ended up the way they are, and can they be redeemed? And if Butcher can be redeemed, could Homelander be redeemed? It makes you think, Uh, Ashley, their development is also very interesting to me. Like the whole hair pulling from stress and see her spiral down towards the end of the season. Like last season, she was like a bit more like having her shit together, and this season is just spiraling. A Train this season also shined. Like I don't know. I think he was a bit stupid last season. This season he's playing it more smart. At least at the end, he did. I
I didn't
mean,
like his story in this show. He did
yeah,
alright in the
but
last episode, but
yeah, the last
overall,
episode he did play a very big part to the big
I agree
thing.
there.
It was big. Like the deep. Okay, he was just a footnote. Apart from the very, very, very fucking hilarious scene with the whale, which was
Yeah,
that was
hilarious.
hilarious. Oh my god, I was dying. I
Oh,
loved
me
this
too.
scene. I
Me too.
died. Oh, so
Listen,
good.
now I have to try to remember the dolphin and the whale. You guys are morbidly disgusting.
Oh man,
I wonder, was he fucking the whale too?
I mean, he
That
might
was
have
so
been.
funny.
You never know. He might be into that
I
kind
mean,
of
they,
stuff.
they both have blowholes.
oh, the deep was so funny, man. The deep is just hilarious. He's like his like falling down. His dissension is just. It's just so funny to watch and his reactions to it and how he's dealing with shit and some of the stuff he talks about, even when it's like tragic, it's so hilarious about how he would hear the fish screaming and stuff like that when he goes into restaurants.
Yeah.
Oh god! Oh man, I loved it. I
I
loved
don't
it, man.
understand how the fuck did the deep end up in the 7 to begin with, because like his superpower is kind of lame, you know.
I gotta say something about the deep real quick. And
Mhm.
as soon as I say it, you guys will probably remember the lobster. Think the lobster.
Oh yeah!
Yep.
Oh my god! Yeah!
I want that one right there. No, don't kill it. Don't kill. Oh, what?
Oh shit! Yeah.
Thanks for catching up, man.
Sorry.
If I was uploading this, I would edit it for a bell to go off, like a bell to go off when Zan finally got it.
Man, I had to really research, go through the memory files and shit. Oh yeah, that's the one.
Anyway, Stormfront's progression, like in the first couple of episodes, he's portrayed as someone who's like hip and into the whole streaming shit and no bullshit kind of attitude. Only to like turn it around, and, boom, Nazi. I think that is hilarious. The most disturbing thing I think in the whole season was Homelander with Stillwell's milk. Like he almost ruined milk for me. I won't lie. That was nasty. But the scene with the shape-shifting dude when he shape-shifted into Homelander, I was like, oh, that scene could be hot. Because yeah, I'd totally watch that. Homelander going down on Homelander. Yes, I'd totally watch that. Not even ashamed to admit it. But yeah, Homelander is so weird. Like, at first, he was still attached to Stillwell and did the things that he did with the dude, right? Then the whole milk situation. Then Storm was like, yeah, laser my fucking tits, dude, or whatever. It's like he's so easily manipulated if shown some attention that he like completely didn't care about the fact that he's an actual Nazi. And he's like, oh, well, I got a girlfriend, pretty much. Because towards the end, I think that he did realize that this is bullshit, especially when he was talking to his son about the white genocide. Oh God.
that is like every guy's perspective. Like, oh, you hear all this bullshit from a girl, and you're just like, well, at least I got a girlfriend.
Well, yeah, so much bullshit, man. It
He's
goes
so
to show you. It goes to show you
He's so
how low the bar is. But
You guys should hear the fucked up shit that Megan's done, and I'm just like, well, at least I got a girlfriend.
well, and the last episode, I think that he handled the conversations with Ryan quite well, like unexpectedly so. But it is some shit that he had experienced as well,
Yeah,
and
they
he
can
probably
relate.
feels that he doesn't want his son to go through the same thing. He definitely doesn't. But at the same time, he doesn't really know how to love and how to care about someone truly. So he's a bit of a tragic character, apart from being a major cunt.
Yeah.
And I loved the last scene. I mean, come on, jerking off to the city. I loved that. We saw his ass.
That
It's
actually,
weird.
Chris, I'm gonna give you something here.
I know
That-
already.
Okay, well, what is
I
it?
know already that this
Tell
was
me.
meant to be in the first season, but Amazon
It
was
is
like,
from-
no,
no.
that's too crazy.
It actually is from the first season, though. Like, they
Yes.
never used it. They never used it
Yeah,
from the
that's
first
what
season.
I'm saying. Because
Okay.
Amazon was like, no, don't use it. It's too crazy. But it was absolutely perfect, and it fit so well with how it ended. Because and how he flipped, like from being like crushed by Maeve to like, yeah, let's go do PR. So yeah, he's going nuts. So next season, I expect that at some point he's probably gonna snap. That's what I expect for the next season. He's gonna snap. Ashley is going to probably either off herself or go completely nuts. And I don't know. I expect Stormfront and Black Noir to return as zombies. Honestly, I think
Now-
it would be fun.
Christine, I want to quickly mention that in the comics, Compound V doesn't. When you die, you don't actually die. If you have Compound V in your system, you come back in the zombie-like state. So I don't think Black Noir is dead. I just think he's comatose. But someone like Lamplighter, he's dead. But I think he'll come back as like a zombie type thing. And I think same with maybe possibly what's her face, Stormfront, as well, if she's actually dead. But yeah.
I don't think that she's dead. Like when we left her, she wasn't dead. She
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Vaderified.
Yeah.
That's a word now. I just
She's gonna be floating in like a tube or whatever, speaking German the whole time. Like she's gonna be just,
What was
She
she
will
saying in
probably get
German,
her-
by the way?
huh?
What was she saying? What was she saying in German at the end? Because I wasn't able to
I'm a
get the subtitles.
Nazi. Kill all Jews.
No, honestly.
White supremacy. I don't know. What has she been
Because-
saying the whole season?
Because the version I watched didn't have subtitles. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, well, I watched it with subs, but it didn't have subtitles on this part, so I have no idea what she was saying.
What about you, Chris?
But-
Foggy?
But he's probably gonna come back with a black helmet and a respirator, and a lightsaber.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to seeing Soldier Boy. He's going to be in season 3.
Captain
It'll be interesting how to implement him. I think he's going to be more like Agent America. What the fuck's his name? From Marvel
Captain
Comics?
America.
No, the
US
evil
Agent?
version. Sorry? US Agent. Is that what he's called?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I fucking forgot his name. I think he's going to be more like that, in my opinion, because apart from maybe Starlight and a bit of Queen Maeve, most of these superheroes are assholes. It'll also be interesting to see what the Seven's going to be like now, because no one's on the same page in the Seven. Starlight knows that Homelander's an arsehole. She doesn't like him. Queen Maeve doesn't like him. But Homelander is still the leader. Fuck knows who's going to be replacing some of the people on the bench, like fucking Black Noir, if he does come back next season. It's going to be interesting to see how they get together and what they do together. Are you going to be looking forward to that, guys? Chris, Boogeyman?
Yeah. While you were talking, I actually looked up the translation of what she was saying at the end of the episode. If you want to know.
Yeah, please tell me.
So the English translation goes, it was beautiful how we sat there under the shadow of the apple tree. Do you remember that day, Frederick? Chloe put her arm outside of the car's window. We found a perfect spot next to the river under the shadow of the apple trees. It was the first time that Chloe had ate a fresh apple. I was so happy. It was wonderful. I wish that it would never end, is what she was saying at the end.
That's kind of
Okay.
wholesome.
That's out of character. By the way, you guys were talking earlier about Stormfront since we're on her.
Mhm.
I mean, I really didn't. I didn't like her turn. Like the way she just went from like social media to like, social media trendy chick to like they put less and less focus on that throughout the season, and it was just like I don't know. I mean, I feel like
I know what you
kinda
mean.
dropped-
I get what you mean. I know kind of what
it was just it was
yeah.
a bit of a big turn, and I mean I know
Yeah.
it's her actual character, but it's like I mean she made a hard left.
Yeah, well, in this case, a hard right.
Or hard right, yeah.
but but yeah, I know what you mean. It felt a bit weird as well because she was taking the piss out of Homelander, and next thing you know, they're fucking going out with each other, and her message from like being just on the phone and just talking to people that way and taking the piss out of Vought and stuff like that to then being with Homelander who's part of Vought. It just that for me felt a bit murky. I'm not sure about you guys. How did you feel about all of that, Christine?
I think that she didn't care about Homelander. She was just manipulating him. She was getting sex out of the deal. All good, but I think she really wanted to get in on with Ryan because he was young and pliable, and she could turn him into the Homelander she actually wants Homelander to be, if that makes sense, through brainwashing and indoctrination and all that jazz. But I don't think she really cared all that much about Homelander, and Homelander was probably also not so hard into her. It's just that, oh, I got a girlfriend, I get laid, she loves me. He's just so starved for validation and for feeling loved that he's willing to overlook a lot of things.
Mm. Okay. I just thought maybe just generally in the story, it just felt very unorganic, which is where I understand where Bobby's coming from with the transition, from her being a social media person, making fun of Homelander and mocking him, to then being alongside him and then doing these massive rallies and shit. It just
It
felt very
makes
different.
sense, though.
It was
Yeah.
very jarring, is what it was. I thought that during that episode, I'm like, wasn't she just last episode like at a rally, despite like talking down about Vought, and now all of a sudden she's like
Yeah.
beside,
Yeah,
it was very jarring. It was like they went from 15 miles an hour to like 70 in like 1 second, and I was like,
Well,
oh,
that yes, but in regards to Homelander, it made complete sense how he pretty much tore him down only to build him up so that she would pretty much have him in
Okay.
her pocket. Like
I-
and I know that this is how abusive shit works. It's a simple fucking thing. It works.
Boogeyman, you got something to say?
I honestly think that they probably rushed her story too much. Like I feel there's a lot of stuff in several different episodes, especially like the last, this last episode. I feel that it could have been pulled out a couple more episodes to kind of really give it due justice. Like the whole Nazi thing, I mean, should have been more than just a 5 minute splurt on the screen.
Yeah, I agree there.
Honestly, I think them ending on episode 8 was probably a bad thing. I think if they would have won another episode, at least another 2 episodes, a lot more stuff could have been done to further the story, draw more people in. With Stormfront, with the Stormfront Homelander thing, and then the Nazi thing. I think I think the show went in a way that we have to end on episode 8, and I really think that was probably a bad thing for them to do because it shortened so many of the plots that they've been building up to all season.
Relax.
Well, and I also think that they kind of, I think you're right. I think that instead of letting the story continue and organically happen, I think they were like, oh, we have to end it on, we have to end this story on episode 8. And honestly, one of the things I think that the show The Runaways on Hulu did really well was they kind of let story, even though they did do seasons for like 10 episodes a piece, but they let the stories end organically. And I felt like there were very organic ways for the stories to end on that show. And that was one of the things that most impressed me about that show is that there were some, at the end of season 1 and going into season 2, there were some definite things that they kind of just left out there. It wasn't cliffhanger, but they left out there, but they made sure that the audience knew that they were going to wrap them or at least continue with them in the next season. And so I feel like that they got the whole rushed at the end of episode 8 thing or season finale going on in this episode. It was but they did. It's kind of like a Endgame, it was a lot to take in, but I thought it was done really well. I don't want to say it was perfect, but it was done really well.
Now, one of the things we haven't really spoken about in episode 8 was the excellent twist ending of the AOC character, and I'll call her AOC because I don't know what her real name is. Newman, okay. Revealing that she's also a telekinetic soup who's able to blow people's brains up. And I love that because prior to that revelation, a lot of people in various on social media and YouTube channels were talking about possibly there being another person, not just Christy, who we saw earlier on in the asylum, who was blowing people's brains up, but somebody else doing it. And it makes sense. So Newman was possibly the person who killed the FBI agent in season 1, in my opinion. She's obviously the person who blew up everyone's brains in the courtroom. And we saw her doing it to the Church of the Collective geezer at the end of this episode. So I think she's going to be a prominent character. Hello, you guys still there? Okay, yeah, I think she's still going to be a prominent character. Obviously in season 3, and it feels that she's actually working with Vought, and as they say, if she's the person pretending to go against Vought in the public eye, then Vought controls the narrative and how people think about them negatively, and that's a very clever move, and I like what they're doing, and I like what they're setting up for season 3. What do you think of the Newman reveal? I'll start with you, Boogeyman.
Say the new member reveal.
The Newman AOC. What about her reveal?
Oh yeah, no, that
being the
that
head
is
killer.
definitely. I mean, the first thing I said. I mean, I literally said it out loud with nobody else around too. It's like, well, now we know who season 3 is going to be primarily about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just it sets it up so well because this whole season, you've been seeing people's heads explode. Same thing, It's like, who's doing it? Because it's like, okay, it's not a sniper. That's too obvious. We know this.
Christy was the red herring.
Yeah. And it's just like, and so you sit here and you watch these episodes and you go, who is doing this? Who? Who is this other person that has yet to be shown? And I think they did it beautifully. I mean, that it sets it up. I hope they do. I really, really hope they go into it in more detail for next season. They have to for how they set that up.
And Boogeyman, Christy is also still in that world as well. Remember, she left the asylum.
It's not Christy, it's Cindy.
Sorry, Cindy. I apologize. Sorry, I've got 2 Christys here. I apologize.
Oh yeah,
Cindy,
no,
yes,
you're right.
Yeah, Cindy as well. But she was the red herring. That's why I said Cindy was the red herring.
Right.
Yes, and she's also in the universe as well. She's still in the world as well. So she's going to play her part. I think she's going to join the boys, in my opinion. I think she's going to fucking join the boys, and she's going to be the counter to AOC.
I don't know. She's too chaotic.
Well, so was Kimiko.
I was about to say, so what is not chaotic about the boys?
True.
Yeah, so they'll fuck, yeah.
So there probably will be some progression, but probably by the end of next season, I wouldn't mind seeing her in the boys. And I think that Newman will probably be the big baddie, the big villain of next season. I don't know.
How'd you stop her? Jesus Christ.
I mean, I don't know. But I love this twist.
It's a fascinating villain.
I didn't expect it.
So wait, you think Carlo Esposito? I don't know his name. I just know him as Carlo
Edgar.
Esposito.
Edgar, yeah.
Edgar. Okay, so you think Edgar and Newman are working together?
Yeah.
I'm not
Okay.
convinced
I
that they're
am.
working together.
Wait, who?
I'm with Christine. I'm not one. I mean,
I'm not
could,
convinced,
but I'm
I'm
not.
but it would
convinced.
make sense. It would make sense because I. Here's the thing. I don't know if Edgar actually wants Compound V to be out of control and given to everyone. But maybe he wants to control both sides of the argument. So
Mhm.
that would make sense. On the other hand, so far he has shown to put Vough's financial interests uh, as his highest priority. So I don't know. I'm not convinced, but I won't be surprised if it turns out that they are working together.
I'm very much convinced, and not only am I convinced, I feel that the Vought has worked with the government, but they never had anybody in the government, and she's the mole, she's the person, and like I said, you said earlier, controlling the narrative. If she's the person putting a negative spin on Vought, then they control the narrative through her because she's working for Vought all along. It's a very clever tactic.
I love just a side note regarding Newman, and at the end of the season or the end of the episode, I love how like Huey is like he's trying to get out on his own and probably get away from all the super garbage and everything, and like he's going to work for a super and he just doesn't know it yet, like a bad super and he just doesn't know it yet. It's like Huey's just like a super magnet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, he is, isn't
yeah, that's true.
He
It'll be
walks into an
interesting.
Olive Garden and
Oh,
there's like three
oh.
supers in there, you know. Like,
But keep in mind the other thing that the things that make me think that maybe she might be working with Edgar is two things. One, he certainly must have come from Vought because Vought has the compound V and she's a soup, so they created her. So there is some connection for sure. And how Rainer died, it didn't make sense for her to be there independently, you know. But Vought knew about her, so they were having tabs on her, and then her head exploded.
Dude,
So
she's working with the boys as well. She's working with the boys. She's working with that FBI agent. Remember, Chris? That's how
yes,
she knows these things. That's how AOC knows these things.
and probably will be able to find out where Ryan lives too, if she pushes.
Yeah, but they would know, wouldn't they? Because it's Vought.
No, the CIA knows.
Oh, sorry. Wait, apologize. Yeah, I know what you mean now. My bad. Yeah.
That was the whole point of giving the kid to
Yeah.
Mallory.
Yeah, Mallory. That's it. Yeah. So,
I
Yeah, so
like
we're gonna-
her.
so Mallory, I think she's dead next season. Definitely, I think she's gonna have her time is gonna be coming next season. But the dynamics have changed now. Like I said, the seven have got good guys in them for once. Queen Maeve and Starlight, proper good guys who are there for the people, so to speak, and want actual justice, no bullshit. As well as the psychos in Homelander. We're gonna get Soldier Boy coming back. We're gonna have new developments now. Landscape's changed a bit. Obviously, AOC is gonna play her part. You itching to say something, Boogeyman?
Starlight, yes, I agree with you on that. But Queen Maeve, I think she's just doing for her. I don't think she's going to be a good person, per se.
This is more gray. I think she's not good, but
Yeah, I agree with
here's the thing.
Christine.
Yeah, she does do it for her own selfish reasons, though,
Conscience.
because she lost her girlfriend because she wasn't good, and she sees the impact that she has on people that she cares about, so she wants to try and be good, I guess. And from
Yeah.
what she said to Starlight last season, is that she wanted to do the right thing at first, but they just tire you out and you can't do it after a while. So seeing her have a change of heart by the end here, it's a good sign. I don't know whether or not A Train will have a redemption arc,
No,
or
he's
he's gonna
selfish.
or he's gonna go the complete opposite direction.
Honestly, I don't. I see. I'm kind of done with A Train. I don't know. Like, I feel like his character is just so.
He's
He's
bland.
just kind of there. Yeah,
I think he should die on his next heart attack. Honestly,
I honestly think he should have stayed in a coma for the rest of this season.
There wasn't enough focus on him this season to see where his mind was at, and because they didn't get enough screen time to give us that. Personally, by the end of this season, he still came across as a guy who was very much thinking for himself, and that's just a standard personality trait for a lot of these superheroes. So, yeah.
I mean, when you look at A Train, I mean, really think about it. What was he only had one key element in this whole entire season, and that was bringing the Nazi files on Stormfront. That was it. Like he was there in other episodes, but he was just there.
yeah, but that was a very important part, though, to taking her down.
That's what I'm saying. That was his only key part, and like the whole season was literally just the Nazi file, which I'm good with. But
it might be part of the whole story that he was helpless and not able to do anything, and put in a position that he wasn't able to do anything until he was.
Just
So,
not
I
enough
don't
focus
know.
on him, Chris. That's what I'm saying. Like, I wanted to see more. He had more screen time so we could see
He
him
had
struggle.
that on the first season, though.
We kind of got that. We kind of got like that A Train vibe with the Deep and seeing him struggle. We're trying to get his shit together. So maybe that's why they probably didn't give us too much of A Train doing it himself. But he seemed, he seems a lot smarter than the Deep. That's for sure. Deep's
Oh,
a fucking
yeah.
idiot.
Where is Bot
Deep's
Tower?
a-
Is it in?
it's like New York, isn't it?
New York,
it New York or LA?
New York.
Okay, so here's my plan. All right, so we're the Deep, Eagle Eye, and A Train are going to start their own team called the Seven West Coast.
Oh, God. Honestly, I don't think A Train would be part of that because A Train just got back into the 7.
No, I know that's
Yeah.
not
The original
if
Seven,
they-
not
Yeah,
Seven.
No, I can see the
so-
Deep and what is it, Eagle Eye? Is it? Yeah, okay. I can see those two. Like, okay, now the leader of the church is dead. I can definitely see some kind of development from the Deep and Eagle Eye, and and a few other maybe new characters coming into it. But
Like the Deep can like grab a bad guy, throw him in some water tank, and then the Eagle Eye shoots him, and then they high five each other and they go like shooting
and they
fish
throw
in a
some
barrel.
monsters in.
Yeah, but if he makes that joke, then the Deep is going to be offended. Because fish,
Does he eat fish, by the way?
I don't think so. They're his friends.
I want the Deep to go into a bar in Sandusky, and he sits down at the bar, and it's kind of at the waterfront, and then another person sits down right next to him, and he's kind of like, the Deep's like, I just don't understand why they just don't get me. I'm super powerful. I can control 70% of the ocean, or at least I can talk to 70% of the earth. I don't understand. And he looks over and it's Jason Momoa for a cameo going, brother, they will never understand. And then from that moment forward, he starts to grow his hair out, and he grows a beard, and he starts to look more like Momoa.
Oh my god.
Oh no!
He's got the entire
Please.
ocean as his navy. He's got the fucking navy right there, pretty much. He can control the earth pretty much if he wanted to.
Yeah, he controls 70. He can at least. Does he actually rule over the
70%
ocean?
of the earth is water, so that's what he probably.
Yeah,
did.
but is he like ruler of the ocean, or is he just?
He can control animals.
No,
he can control
he's
all
not-
living
No,
fish creatures.
Oh.
I think he can just speak to them and.
Yeah, and he can breathe underwater because he has those fucking gills.
No, don't
He's,
put him back.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's not king of the ocean. No, he speaks to the fish, and probably can get him to do things like that
So-
poor whale.
Oh, the whale.
That
hate
was
all of you.
hilarious.
Dude, when that happened to the dolphin in season 1 and then the whale in season 2, I was so mad. I was so
I loved
sad.
it. I
Well,
loved
they
it.
didn't kill real animals, Jason. It was hilarious in both cases, though, as a situation.
You don't
Yes,
know.
in real life it would be tragic.
Hollywood
in
is
this
full of evil
context-
bastards.
So
Ugh.
here's the question, though: is what are they going to do for season 3? Because this could be a trend at the beginning of each season.
Hey,
A blue whale,
regarding
whale's
the,
gonna get it.
Oh my gosh.
By the way, when a blue whale farts, it makes a bubble as big as a horse. The more you know.
no, it's gonna be something like a manatee or something like that. It's definitely going to be a mammal for sure because it's been a dolphin and it's been a whale, so it's going to be a mammal. So maybe a manatee or something like that, or maybe a seal. A seal would be fucking awful if they did a seal. If they did that to a seal, oh my god!
Damn.
He's just
Stop it.
he's like sitting
Stop
there
it.
talking to his seal on the beach, and all of a sudden an orca comes up behind.
Well, no, but wait.
That's fine. That's nature.
That's the circle
nature.
of life.
That's
But like,
nature.
if you,
But
like, all of a sudden you have like poachers coming up and like shoot the seal or some like harpoon the seal. God,
or like the seal,
y'all are
or the
mean to
seal
our
like gets
animals.
somehow ends up getting.
I'm sorry.
No, you're getting it
Jason.
wrong, Jason. Sorry, go on.
Harpoons aren't for seals. The seals are going clubbing. Harpooning is for whales. You got them mixed up.
No, but it's got to be an accident how the seal dies, so like it gets smashed and obliterated against a wall or something. You know what I mean? Just it ends up being a bag of blood and guts just pouring out of it. You know, and that's how it's got to
I
die.
hate all of you.
Like, I look forward to the next big animal death in season 3. It's gonna be, it's a bit like an M Night Shyamalan twist. It just has to happen.
I will be highly disappointed if they don't do something every season.
I will
It's gotta be-
I will tout
yeah.
it as my if there is no animal death, I will tout it as my favorite season.
Are you
I
a
don't
fucking
care. It
vegan
can
or
be the
something?
biggest piece of bullshit season ever. I'm gonna be like my favorite season,
Look.
season 3.
The only reason I will feel that way if the animal they kill is terror. Only in this case. If they kill another Dibs animal as a comedic relief, I'm gonna love it. Cause yeah, but terror. Oh my god, this puppy was so cute.
Well, this show has proven that you can have R-rated entertainment and it can be extremely popular and watched by millions and millions of people. So hopefully we'll get more R-rated television shows of the superhero variety. Doesn't have to follow the same sort of formula as The Boys, but it doesn't have to hold back either. So I'm looking forward to that because it's been proven. You write it well, you act it well, you give us good material. R-rated stuff can be very popular. You don't have to have kids watching your shit to fucking get views. So that's how I think of that.
Oh yeah, and Deadpool was the start of it. Like I mean, when first Deadpool came out, like you knew it's like this is gonna open up so much more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And shame Disney will never give us anything like that with the MCU. I can't. I mean, even something like the Multiverse of Madness could have been that, but under Disney, it's never going to be that. So
I didn't want the Multiverse of Madness to be a horror graphic one. I mean, I thought the third Doctor Strange movie, where like Doctor Strange kind of reinvents himself and loses Sorcerer Supreme and everything like that. Like I thought that could have been a good horror movie. But
I'm just saying. I mean, in the sense that when it comes to graphic and maybe and language, we're never going to get that in the MCU, are we? Ever?
I think there's room for it. I just think they have to figure out how they're going to do it. Like if
Something
they're
like
going to
Blade.
and as I said, I think they're gonna get to that point where they're like, okay, we need to put out some R-rated content that's bloody and yada yada, but it can't be like, integral to the MCU because that's just not where their focus is in the MCU. Like it'll be a part of the MCU, but it's not it's not integral. Like Blade. Like I mean, they could do a Blade movie and just be like, this is a part of the MCU, but it's not like
It's not
central
integral
to the MCU. So if you don't take your kids to see this movie, it's okay, but you can still go see it. But the kids don't have to see it to follow the MCU.
And when they do a crossover and you got Blade with the with the Avengers, and he's not calling everyone motherfuckers.
Why does Blade have to be with the Avengers? He's barely ever been with the Avengers. That's
the point is,
if
you're gonna introduce him in the MCU, he's gonna have to eventually be in some sort of Avengers.
No, you don't. You do not. The Avengers are not the be-all, end-all of everything MCU. Like, I mean, I hate how they have this standard set where it's
agree.
like, oh, well, if this character's introduced, then they have to be in an Avengers movie. No.
But so far, that's been the case, though. That has been the case so far. Every character, yeah. And
that's
so,
what I'm saying, though.
Why are we talking about the Avengers? The boys are based
sorry.
on Justice League. You fucking dipshits.
But
they're based on a lot of things.
We're talking about the MCU leaning towards like the boys' territory. That's kind of how we got on this.
Yeah, exactly. It would be nice though if they could start maybe treating a lot of us adults like adults and giving us some more adult-orientated shows instead of everything having to be universal. You know, because look how popular The Boys is. It's great, and it doesn't have to, like I said, it doesn't have to follow that format. But it can still be R-rated. It can still be 18. It can still be not for kids in any capacity. And that's what I want more from my superhero shows.
Well, and I think a lot of these companies now are starting to see it's like, okay, yeah, having shows that you can take your kids to are nice and all, but it's getting to a point where, you know, the adults want adult stuff again, and, you know, to be able to have different stuff, to be able to have that thing. You know, in the last, last 10 or last 15, 20 years, I mean, a lot of stuff has been lost just because everybody's, you know, or well, the minority is sitting here chanting. It's like, oh no, we want everything to be family friendly and da 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 da. And it's like companies are now starting to go. It's like, okay, that's not the actual fact. The actual fact is people want their good stuff back. Like,
exactly. Yeah, you trying to be a jack of all trades and be a master of none is, I mean, you could be really good at certain things, but you can only push that for so long before things just start becoming bland, and you have to push the envelope again to give people something different. And that's what R-rated shows are, something different. And it's about fucking time we get some good quality R-rated shit back. You know, you can see there's a budget to this, quality actors in this, you know, well-written scripts. You know, it doesn't matter if it's superheroes or not. You know, if it's and you know, it's just. Look, I'm losing my train of thought. I do apologize. Let me just shut the fuck up. I've got nothing more to say. Any of you guys got anything more to add?
Save the Aqua Life. Don't kill in season 3.
Oh, they have to kill an animal in season 3. They have to. Hopefully, it's a seal. It needs to be a mammal. A seal would be nice because
a manatee would be nice.
A manatee, okay, fine, yeah.
Because they used to be endangered.
Yeah,
damn, I hope a blue whale jumps out of the Baltic.
Blue whale is the final season. Is the blue whale?
Oh Jesus!
The final season.
I hope
is the
blue whale jumps out of the Baltic and fucks.
The blue whale is the final season, or if they decide to kill off the deep.
Has fucking whales, dude.
I know.
It's a small fucking sea, bro.
I know. It's just the first thing that came to mind.
I want to see more Love Sausage next season as well.
He's dead.
He's dead.
No, he got knocked out. He's not necessarily dead.
Well, Love Sausage. Oh, that was so great. Love this scene. Oh my god. When I saw this thing wrapped around Nemem's throat, I was like, oh, don't tell me that this is the cock. And I was like, oh my god, I was dying.
I was dying too.
Oh my god. Awesome.
So what members of the 7 are active currently? Is it just Homelander, Maeve, and Starlight?
No, you got A-Train back.
A-Train.
Oh, and A-Train. That's only 4. So who? I mean, are they going to replace? Like, are they just going to kind of say Black Noir's on a covert mission, and then so that's 5? Who's the last? Who are the other 2?
Who are we forgetting?
Stormfront.
Well, Stormfront's dead, or ish.
Yeah, but her spot.
I mean, that might be Soldier Boy. They probably need a. They probably need someone to.
Yeah, he's probably gonna be the replacement.
Anyway. Yeah, they need somebody super patriotic since they let a Nazi in last time.
Yeah, for sure. I think that would be.
But then there's still one more spot. I don't. Eagle Eye, let him in.
I doubt it.
I know.
I think he might, you know, because they want to, you know, change the dynamics a little bit, make it a little bit more multicultural after what happened with Stormfront. So yeah, just have two black guys.
That would be
you know?
funny if they did, though. Let Eagle Eye.
Yeah, I know. I honestly think they will do that in the narrative. They'll mention that. We did have a Nazi before, so let's just have a couple of black guys. As well as an American hero who's anti-Nazi in Soldier Boy.
Yeah, no, I mentioned Queen Maeve.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're still missing a spot. It seems like every season they always have one spot missing, or at least one inactive member. So that's.
Another thing as well, Black Noir is. We did say it earlier. He's not going to be what we think he might be as revealed in the comics. So what do you think he's going to be? Or is he going to be any? Do you think he's just his own person? He's not somebody else.
I think he's going to be. What's the chick's name that Homelander was obsessed with in season 1?
I forgot her name, Valerie or some shit like that.
I think he's going to be a clone of her.
Who?
Bob's just doing his dad jokes.
A dad joke? What?
I said
Who?
that's a
The one he was fucking. Stillwell.
Yeah,
It's Stillwell. Yeah,
Oh my
go.
god! That was the most boring sex scene I've ever seen in my life. And this season, it was the most out of this world sex scene between Homelander and Stormfront. Like, how did they go from the most boring to the most fucking wow? I don't know.
I don't even think it was wow, really.
Not wow, but it was not boring.
I mean, now you know why Lois Lane is with Superman.
No, but that's one-sided. He'll kill her. But I always imagine superheroes having sex the way they did. I have imagined superheroes having sex, just so you guys know. Wondering. And if it was like, for instance, like Wonder Woman and Superman, that's how I imagine they'll be fucking, like smashing the shit out of the place.
Do you remember the movie Hitch with Will Smith?
Yes.
There was a deleted scene.
Oh, Hitch. Oh, you mean?
Or no, not Hitch. Hancock.
Hancock. Yeah. I thought you were thinking that one. Yeah, Hancock.
And there was a deleted scene in that where he was doing some chick, and then at the end, when he went to go, he had to throw her across the room, and he shot through the ceiling.
What?
Really?
Yeah. Look up Hancock deleted scene.
Was that a deleted scene?
That was a deleted scene.
What was?
Okay, hold on. I'm looking it up.
His ejaculations can destroy buildings.
It's true.
Oh.
No, it's there. I didn't think it was a deleted scene though. I thought it was in the actual movie.
I like Homelander's ass. I won't lie.
I'm definitely. He's a Kiwi. You know that, Chris.
Even better. I like him as an actor. I mean, Homelander is terrible, but the actor, he's hot.
Well, the two leading actors, people are saying that basically Homelander and Butcher are Batman versus Superman, and I like that.
I kind of want to see some fan fiction with those two.
They are Batman versus Superman, and they both happen to be the leading actors of either side, and they're both Kiwis.
Hold on, I got it. Hold on.
Oh, God.
You're gonna show it. Show it.
Oh, I'm gonna show it. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
It is great. Hold on, here it comes.
Here it comes, indeed.
Well, you said it first, so.
All right, let me turn this up a little bit. All right, is it showing? Okay.
What the?
I'm pretty sure that's a deleted scene.
I don't think that's a deleted scene. I think it was in the movie.
I don't remember that.
Well, regardless.
So what happens if he
guy.
ejaculated in the chick and not on the ceiling?
She's
Or
dead.
did she explode too?
No, he threw her across the room and then he shot through the ceiling.
Because I'm pretty sure that's in the movie. Because I remember there being one of the things in there. It's like, oh man, I feel sorry for who that lands on.
But I remember only seeing it after the movie came out and there was a deleted scene.
I'm just surprised there was no goo on himself, or anything like
Because
that.
it is in space.
No, but a little bit of aftermath, a little bit of, a little trace here and there. Nothing. It's okay. Anyway, fantastic. I'm glad I've seen that now.
I bet you are.
Well, guys, I would like to. We're getting close to the hour mark, so maybe we should start wrapping this up. Any more things to say about the boys?
Awesome show. Awesome show.
Blue Whale in Zam 2020.
Yes. American humor, I don't get it, but all right. Christine,
Mm-hmm.
anything more to say before you go back to your cave?
No, I mean, I think I said everything. I talked a lot.
That's good. We missed you.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Saturdays are weird. Very weird for me. Because I have, like, an RP game at 4:30 in the morning. So, like, I slept for 2 hours, then woke up, played for, like, 4 or 5 hours, then tried to sleep, managed to only sleep 2 hours. It's weird. It's weird. So, yeah, Saturdays are weird. So, that's why it's, yeah.
Fair
But yeah,
enough.
it was good to be back.
You should watch Star Trek Lower Decks because we'll be talking about that next. Not now, but in
Probably
another
tomorrow.
stream. Probably tomorrow.
Well, there's no fucking way I can binge all that till
25
tomorrow.
minutes. 25
They're
minutes an
25-minute
episode.
episodes. I mean, you can do it. I believe in you, Christine. I
No.
believe in you.
Because
No, honestly,
I-
it's about 4
You.
hours. 4 hours. If you can dedicate
I have
4 hours, you could
D&D
probably
and
watch
I
it
want
all.
to sleep.
No sleep for you. Not until you see Lower Decks.
No, I'm not gonna watch it, guys.
Okay, well.
I mean, I'm not feeling it. If I feel it, I'll watch it. But so far, I haven't felt it. No. You know how I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sound like
Right.
Megan.
I don't wanna.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I think it's the greatest
feel it. If
Star
I don't
Trek in
feel it,
years,
then I'm like,
Christine.
"Nah, not gonna waste my time.
And
And the more you tell me about it, the more my brain will,
Be like,
be
"Fuck
against
it."
watching it. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I don't like being peer pressured. I don't like peer pressure. If I want to watch something, I want to do it on my own fucking terms.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
disagree.
Yeah.
okay, I just said it was the best Star Trek in years. That's all I said.
No, I like Picard, and fuck you if you disagree.
No, I like Picard too. So me and you are on the same page on that one. Anyway, Zam, close us out, man.
All right. We'll be on tomorrow at some point doing some Star Trek Lower Decks. But thank you very much for joining us for our boys stream. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, as well as our Discord. Make sure you like and share this
Oh, yeah, you're
shit.
stuck until the
Yeah.
end now.
Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.